So 3 ways to create the Kukan. Okay, 3 ways to create the Kukan. All right, one is with our Ashi Sabaki. There's also a Sabaki, a past Whiteboard Wednesday on this, right? Right now, I'm just going to use the conventional translation that most people do, footwork, okay? But it really means leg management, that kind of thing, right? So footwork, Ashi Sabaki, right? So we're moving to keep that space between he and I. Every time he moves toward me, I move back, so I maintain that bubble, right? It can get bigger, but it can't get smaller. If it gets smaller, he gets to jump on you, right? So Ashi Sabaki, okay? So our Tai-Han, our body movement, right? Technically, walking is Tai-Han as part of the body movement skills, but what we're looking at here is using rolling, leaping, break falls, those kind of things, right? If he's really pressing in and my footwork's not enough, he keeps closing, right? I can do a roll away that creates 2, 3, 4 times the amount of distance, resets him to 0, and he now needs to close the gap in and reestablish what he just lost. Leaping doesn't create as much, but it can at least double the distance that you have, so it opens that thing up again. Tai-Han break falls, like if I do a tachi nagare, yoko nagare, that kind of thing, right? It's not about distance from his body so much as it's taking advantage of a different space, right? So if he's punching in here and I drop below all that, right? I have a whole bunch of extra targets down here low from his groin down because I'm underneath, right? He's going to have a hard time fighting. Human beings have a hard time working above shoulder level and below shoulder level or below hip level because it's just not the way we're built, right? We need to do all these kind of things. So if I can drop into that pocket, into that space, right? Again, confusion, disorientation, surprise, all that kind of stuff, but it gives me more opportunities because he thought the fight was going on up here, right? And then the third one, right, is by attacking or threatening to attack, right? I won't use the Japanese this time, right? So by attacking or threatening to attack, right? So he starts moving in, right? Maybe I'm in a Seigan or whatever. He starts to get a little too close, right? And I get out there and stab at his eyes, or I spit at him or whatever, right? Anything that's going to cause him to want to back up to save some part of himself, right? Or maybe I'm in a Hoko or Kosei, Bobi, whatever, right? And he starts getting closer. Remember, the leading edge of each person's body is not this part, unless you're in Shizen or Hira, right? If we're in a fight position, the leading edge is the closest thing that's out there. So another big mistake that students make is they're paying attention to this on them and the other person. Meanwhile, the limbs are inside the Kukan. The rule of the Kukan is you never put anything in there you're not willing to give up for the rest of your life. So if his hand drifts close enough for me to comfortably smack at those fingers or the hand bones, or as he's moving and I lift a lead kick toward his groin or whatever, that causes him to back up, you're only going to need to do it 2, maybe 3 times for him to now not want to get close enough where that, and again, you're forcing him to come in from that distance, right? Okay, so there's your 3 ways to create it in a self-defense situation. I'm going to give you 2 bonus ones right now, right? First bonus is through projection of intention, presence, that kind of thing, right? In life, 2, okay? So one of the things I was taught very early on is the primary goal of a ninja is to set up their lives so that no one would ever see them as a target. No one would ever think of attacking them. And it's not about bravado. It's not about walking around like they better not. Dude, they can run you over with a car or shoot you from across the street, right? You're not indestructible, okay? But the idea is to carry yourself in a way where you become someone that no one thinks of attacking, okay? So the other way to do this, short of that, right, is to increase awareness of surroundings so that you can act before the threat gets close enough to you, right? So when you go into places, you establish baselines, all that kind of stuff, right? So it becomes more and more difficult for anybody to get at you, okay? Bonus number 2 is, again, use in life, right? Relationships, work or business, whatever, right? Where you're looking for those opportunities to take advantage of things where maybe something needs to be done, but nobody's really paying attention to it, right? And so you can use that to increase benefit, that kind of thing. In business, it's done all the time where a good entrepreneur looks for a gap or a need that's not being filled that would make people's lives easier. And so when they put that out, that's why when you see it, you go, oh my God, that would, right? Because they're not making something and convincing you to buy it, right? They're recognizing a need and then creating something that fills that need.